So this is a video of me doing a brow tutorial. As you can see, these are my natural brows. So what I like to do is just go in and fill them in with a pencil. Sometimes I use a cream or an eyeshadow powder, but today I'm gonna use my NYX Eyebrow pencil. And this is in dark brown. Is it there? Yeah. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in dark brown. And that's what I'm going to use today. So what I normally do is just start off with brushing my brows in its natural shape. Just up and over. So my brows are naturally arched, don't really require a lot of work. I tend to like to play with the front, brush it up and over. So then what I do is I take my pencil and I just follow the outline of my brow. That's all I do. I don't worry about it being totally neat or just immaculate. I just follow my eye shape and then I go back afterwards and I clean up with concealer. So again, these are my natural brows, just shaped. So I start on the outer and then I work my way in, just following the natural shape, okay? Can you see? That's all I've done so far. So I don't extend it out too far. This is where some of the hair is stopping here. So that's my base. That's what I start with. Then I go on top and I follow the same brow as is. And then I'm just going to extend it out here. You see that little part right there? Kind of went above. That's no problem. I'm gonna fix that with my concealer. So then what I like to do is take my brush and just kind of blend it in a little bit. This is one of my personal favorite techniques. So the brow doesn't look so harsh. And it doesn't look so animated, drawn in. You see that? So I pretty much just brushed the the pencil in with my brows to just kind of fill it in some. And again, I don't have to worry about any of this because I'm going to clean that up with concealer. So basically, I just filled my brow. And if I want it much bolder, I'll still take my same pencil and I'll just trace my my hair, doing light feather strokes. So here I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, starting with my base. Looks a bit crazy, right? No worries. All right. And the more you brush and feather out some of that harshness, the more natural it's gonna look. All right, now for the cleanup. I usually alternate my concealer between LA Pro Girl and Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Cream Kit. So, for today, I think I'm gonna use the LA Pro Girl. And it's really easy to use this because it already has the brush. So you don't really have to have a steady, well, you have to have a steady hand, but you don't have to have as much of a steady hand. So I just take it and I squeeze and the product comes out. And I follow my brow shape. Starting at the outer. And you don't want to get it, the concealer in your brow, like the hair. You really just want to follow the shape of your brow. And the color that I'm using is chestnut. And I like chestnut because it's a natural, it's more closer to my skin tone. And I'm just blending it out. Just shaping the brow. And don't worry about it coming up this way because I haven't applied foundation or anything. So all of that's gonna blend seamlessly when I apply my foundation. And that's why I like using a shade that's closest to my skin tone. And then I follow on top. Same amount of product on the brush. I have not squeezed this anymore. So a lot will come out. So squeeze very softly so that you don't get too much product. And what I like about the LA Pro Girl concealer, it will dry fairly quickly. So, that's the shape of my brow. So with this, I'm gonna blend it in. I like using a flat surface brush. So this is my MAC 247. Honestly, I use multiple different brushes, but this is usually my all-time go-to favorite. So what I do is just blend, blend, blend. And see that LA Pro Girl concealer has already started drying, and it's drying to my natural color, which is even better. So I really don't have to do a lot of work because again, the LA Pro Girl concealer has a brush, which I can brush on real easily. And then I could take my flat brush and just blend it, carve out that shape even more so. And I have my brow. Okay. And at this step, you can take your brush again and kind of brush out if you want to lighten it or if you want to make sure your shape is there. I'm just brushing up to have more of a natural blended front. So that's pretty much it. Just follow your natural brow shape. Fill it in. You start with this, and the outcome is this. So I think for this brow, I'm gonna use my contour kit. And I use my flat brush just to pick up the product. And the color that I'm using is chocolate. That's the shade that I'm using, chocolate. So I'm gonna start on this side. And I always start at the bottom because the bottom is what, the bottom is the most, I don't know, important part of the process, starting the process of carving out the shadow. I'm sorry, your brow shape. So here I just pulled my brow up, and I'm gonna be honest, using this method with the cream is a little more tedious because you have to make sure you're precise. You have to make sure you apply the product in the right place versus using the LA Pro Girl concealer with the brush. This is so much easier, so much easier. But the more you advance and get comfortable, you'll be able to do like a concealer, like a cream concealer. And I'm just pulling up the arch to make sure I place the product directly in the arch of the brow. And then I'm gonna go ahead on top with the same amount of product that I have on my brush. And I tend to start in the center when using this method to make sure I carve out that arch. I don't know if you can see me here. And I will tell you this, brows are sisters. They're supposed to match. They are twins, but they're not identical twins. So they don't have to be matchy-matchy and be identical to each other, but you want them to definitely look alike because they're sisters. I'm just going back in with the LA Pro Girl with the brush. Again, because it's so much easier. And then at this point, I just like to clean it up. Just make sure it's to my liking. And I'm not squeezing additional product. I'm still using the same amount that was already on the brush. I'm telling y'all, this LA Pro girl is the truth. And it's so inexpensive. And you can find it at your local hair store, beauty store, not like Sally's. I haven't seen it in Sally's. Just like the corner hair store. And I'm also told that it's now sold in CVS. So maybe you can check your local CVS. So there's my brow. And I'll just continue to blend. Super easy. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And I need to remember what brush I use for blending my brow. And then I just blend down, blend down. So that is how I do my brows. Could have been a little better, but this is the basics of it. All right, so that's pretty much it. All right, well, until next time.